welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me so much. I appreciate it.
I really appreciate your time. I want to dive into this. I think this is so cool. You have your own company, right? Q
Yes.
Card by Wally, which is one of them. You actually have another one, NCQ Cards as well. But walk us through Q Cards by Wally.
Well, when the pandemic hit into 2020 and I wasn't able to do my job, cue cards for Saturday Night Live, as you said, and late night with Seth Meyers, and I was sitting around, and I had a lot of cue cards and nothing to write on them. I thought I had this business idea before doing personalized cue cards for people. And my wife, who is in business and likes to start little companies, said now's the time to do that business when people can't go to weddings and birthdays and things like that, and they need an original gift. So we launched, and I did a couple podcasts, and then I did a local news thing, and then the Today Show picked it up, and then all of a sudden I was in business and busier than I'd ever been doing anything before. Um, but it's been great. It's been a really cool thing doing personalized cue cards for people, and just the joy it brought people to give an original gift for fans of late night and fans of Saturday Night Live was something I hadn't even dreamed of, and I was like, how could people really want these? Because it's just really marker on a plain white card, but people flipped out over it and they were really happy, and it made me happy to bring joy to people during this pandemic that was going
It's not just marker on a card, Wally. I mean,
on. Well, yeah.
yes, it is, but it,
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
it's such a unique peak. I'm gonna say with history, right?
yeah.
I mean, not every show uses cue cards. Not everyone has been doing it for, I believe, 20 plus years, if I'm not mistaken.
32.
32 years.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a really cool business to say, here is
yeah.
something so cool and unique, especially from yourself. Now, in your business, what is the weirdest request you've gotten so far?
Yeah, I've had to turn down. Well, I can't do anything copyrighted, so I have to turn those people down and have them come up with something else. I've had a couple that were not very nice, and I was like, no, I can't really do that, because I don't want my cue cards used for evil. I want them used for good. Um, but weird wise, um, just like little things that were like from a brother to a sister, happy birthday, you stink, love your brother, kind of thing, that I thought was cute and funny and not too mean, so I won't do anything mean, but something like that I thought was really funny.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
Now, in your opinion, what is there a style of writing that is best for cue cards? Is it, block writing? Sometimes we look at sans serif or different types of script. In your expert opinion,
Yeah.
what's the best way to do this?
Yeah, well, when I bring on a new employee, we just started training somebody this week. Actually, I had somebody leave. um, it's all block lettering, and there's a style to it. And we tell people it's not like writing. It's not writing. It's printing. It's almost like drawing because the pens are pretty thick. Here, I got a couple pens right here. I can show you. We use these Pilot pens. Shout out to Pilot because they're my favorite. But and they're big. You can see how thick they are. So you're kind of moving your hand, whereas when you're writing, you're moving your fingers more. So you're moving your hand. So you're drawing the letters, and it's just, yeah, block drawing, and we have different ways of writing each one, and we train people the same way so that I can have seven different people print one sketch, and to the naked eye or to the non cue card eye, the printing all looks the same. Now I can tell the differences, but to the actor, they won't be able to tell the difference, and it looks seamless.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Now,
it's
what's
pretty
the,
neat.
what's the biggest thing to remember when you're creating these cue cards? Is it, we're always going to make mistakes. There's spelling, there's grammar, but is
Yeah.
there a color outside of block writing? Is there a color that looks best? What's the Wally way of doing it?
Well, when we're working on SNL, the host is always in the color black, because you can see that the best, and they're usually not used to reading cue cards, and they'll be the only one in black. So we have different, and all the cast have their own colors per se. If there's five cast members in a sketch, then we can use all five colors. We use black, blue, green, red, and brown. If there's more than 5, which a lot of the time is the case, we have to double up on the colors, and then we'll put their names in front of their lines so there's no confusion on which blue is reading who. So it's all very organized and stuff like that. But it's the color is so using the colors and the spacing on the cards is really the most important part to reading the cards, making them neat and legible.
So what do you mean by spacing? I mean, you know your style of writing, I know mine.
Yeah,
How do
yeah.
I create something that is universal for everybody to understand, I
It's
guess?
it's the spacing between the letters and the spacing between the words themselves. Here, I have a cue card here, and I guess I was gonna show you this later, but I printed up a couple this morning before I came on. Where am I gonna see
Oh my
that?
God.
So, so we have live from the Disability Channel. It's Christopher Powers. Now, you see the spacing between the letters, and then the spacing between the words, and then the spacing between the lines, so it's legible. Now, that's the one I would normally print, but I did print up a backup because I like to tell the truth a lot. So I wrote taped and not live from the Disability Channel. It's Christopher Powers. So I'm going to send you those both as a gift from me. But
Oh my
as an
God, that's
example of
amazing.
as an example of spacing, that's and I did sign them too. That makes them a little bit more valuable, Chris, if you want to sell those on eBay at some point.
No, I'm not selling those at all. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So,
And that's an
you know,
example. That's an example of my cue cards by Wally too, where I would print up something like that for a gift for somebody. So
so I noticed that you have the underlines.
yeah, yeah.
Why is that important?
Um, we underline for different reasons at Saturday Night Live. We underline for emphasis. So if we want them to yell that or really hit it, we'll underline it. If the host and another character who's in green are saying the line at the same time, then we'll write it in one color and underline it, so the person in green knows they're saying those lines as well. Um, for my company, when I started doing these, I liked the way it looked with the different underlined color. It made the letters pop out a little bit and made it look kind of cool. So when I was sitting at home and I was like, yeah, I think it. When I just had the black on there, it didn't look as good. And I was like, let me underline these, and I think it makes it look. I think it makes a letter pop on the green on the white there. So yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah,
So a question for you: Why white? Like it seems to be that we have a nice heavy card stock that we can hold and manipulate. Why not
yeah.
yellow or red or green?
I've never tried that. I've never even thought. I think white shows the other colors the best. I think maybe those colors might be more expensive, like to get stock of those colors. And I think that would, if I had red, say, that would eliminate red from me being able to use red, and so I mean, when I started working 32 years ago, this is how it was done. This is how I was trained. It was white, and we've made some changes, since then. But always been white. I think it just shows the colors show up better on the white.
Okay. And when you make when someone makes a mistake in 32 plus years, I'm sure you know the alphabet inside and out, along with the
Yeah.
dictionary there. What happens when you're writing something and you're like, oh no, and do you have to start all over again? Do you do a new card? Like, what's that process?
No, we have white tape. Let me see if I get some. We have like rolls of white artist tape, 2-inch white artist tape, and we'll just tape over the line or tape over the word, and we can write right on the tape, and it looks seamless. Like you can't really tell we made a mistake there. That's what we do on the shows, especially Saturday Night Live, when we're making changes last minute. Instead of throwing away a whole card, you just change the line. You can tape over it real quick, write it on there, or just not tape it, and you're all set.
That's amazing. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Great.